Welcome to Unit 4, Lesson 16, Solving Quadratics Practice Problems. Okay, what number should be added to the expression x squared minus 15x to make it a perfect square? So we have didn't turn on the thing. X squared plus bx. There's no c here. So you take the negative 15, you divide it by 2. You get negative 7.5. Then we square that one, and we get positive 56.25. Remember, when it's a negative, please put your things in parentheses. A perfect square is going to be positive 56.25. And this number right here is going to go in your thing. So when you get x squared minus 15x plus 56.25. This determines the sign of both terms. So it's minus 7.5 quantity squared. This is a perfect square. Okay, it says solve each quadratic equation with the method of your choice. So if I add 1 to make this equal to 0, I get x squared minus 2x plus 1 is equal to 0. Okay, so this is going to be x minus 1 quantity squared. How do I know that? Negative 1 plus negative 1 is negative 2. Negative 1 times negative 1 is positive 1. So I take the square root of both sides. The x minus 1 pops out as equal to 0, and x is equal to 1. Or I could have just factored before. All right. Now, let's see what we have here. If I move the 14 over, x squared plus 8x plus 14 equals to 23. So I am going to use the quadratic formula. I'm going to complete the square here. So I got to divide 8 by 2. I get 4. And then I square it. I get 16. So I'm going to add 16 to both sides. I know this seems like a lot, but it's really not that much. So the square root of 16 is 4. So this is x plus 4 quantity squared plus 14 is equal to 39. I subtract 14 from both sides. I get x plus 4 is equal to 25 squared. Don't forget to bring down your squared. A lot of people forget terms. So I'm going to square root both sides. And x plus 4 pops out is equal to 5. X plus 4 is equal to negative 5. Subtract 4 from both sides on both equations. X equals 1 and x equals negative 9. So x has 2 solutions for this problem. Okay, now let's look at C. This is a difference of squares because it's x squared minus a term. So I know that this is x plus the square root of 15 and x minus the square root of 15. I could have moved the 15 over. Okay, I set them equal to 0, and separately, I set them equal to 0. This is probably the longer way. I should probably just move the 15. Minus 15 equal to 0. Add root 15 to both sides. Add root 15 to both sides. Subtract root 15 to both sides. Subtract root 15 to both sides. X equals negative root 15 and x equals positive root 15. And it'd have probably been shorter just to add the 15. So let's do it a different way. X squared minus 15 equal to 0. X squared equals 15. When I add 15 to both sides, take the square root. X equals plus and minus root 15. That's probably shorter, probably less steps, but okay. Okay, so for right now, I'm going to skip D. We're not going to worry about that. But for E, the first thing you had to do is you had to recognize that all of them are divisible by 2. So if you divide a 2 out, you get rid of the first term. So you get x squared plus 6x equals 4. Now, this is easier to complete the square on. I take 6 divided by 2, I get 3. I square it, I get 9. So I get x squared plus 6x plus 9 is equal to 4 plus 9. The square root of 9 is 3. 2 times 3 is 6. So this is x plus 3. Quantity squared is equal to 13. I take the root. I get x plus 3 is equal to positive root 13. And x plus 3 is equal to negative root 13. Subtract the 3 from both sides. And x is equal to negative 3 plus root 13 and negative 3 minus root 13. Now, when we get to the next lesson, or when we get to the quadratic formula, you're going to see this. X is equal to negative 3 plus minus the root of 13. This plus minus means plus and minus. It's actually two numbers. It's condensed into one number. Okay, which expression is equivalent to the square root of negative 23? So for the square root of negative 23, what you have to do is separate it into negative 1 times the number. 23 is not divisible by 4 or 9 or 16. So the negative 1 is I. So this is just 23. I root 23. We put the I in front of radical so you understand that the I is not under the radical. So D is the best answer. Okay, so let's solve number 6. 5I squared. We know that I squared is negative 1. So this becomes 5 times negative 1, which is negative 5 plus 0I. If to write it as a complex number. B. I squared times I squared. When you multiply the base, add the exponent. So this becomes I to the 4th. I to the 4th is just 1 plus 0I. Negative 3I squared. Negative 3 times negative 3 is 9I squared. I squared is negative 1. This is negative 9 plus 0I. Or you could just leave it as negative 9. But I'm just emphasizing the imaginary part. 7 times 4 is 28I. And for the last one, make sure you distribute the negative. So this becomes plus 3 minus 2I. Rewrite the left one. Now, put the reals with the reals. Put the imaginaries with the imaginaries. And we get 8 plus 2I. And this is our only complex number of the bunch.